IMF warns Pakistan on repayments to China for economic corridor. Considering the IMF report, what will be the aftermath of Pakistan receiving such a huge economic aid in the form of loans from Chinese banks? Give a brief note on China-Pakistan economic corridor. What the CPEC project means for Pakistan. GS Paper 2, Bilateral, Regional and Global Groupings and Agreements involving India and affecting India's interests. What is the context about? The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has warned Pakistan that China's growing investments in the country, including the $46 billion economic corridor. China's growing investments in Pakistan can lift the cash-strapped economy's potential output, but repayment obligations will be serious, says IMF. During the investment phase, as the early harvest projects proceed, Pakistan will experience a surge in foreign direct investment, FDI, and other external funding inflows, says the IMF. Considering the IMF report, what will be the aftermath of Pakistan receiving such a huge economic aid in the form of loans from Chinese banks? The report estimates that CPEC-related imports could reach 11% of total projected imports by 2020, equal to just over $5.7 billion. Gross external financing needs of the country will jump almost 60% by then, from a projected $11 billion for the current fiscal year, to $17.5 billion in 2020. Once the Chinese investors begin repatriating profits, outflows will also come in the form of repayment obligations on the loans taken from Chinese banks for these projects, which are expected to rise after 2021. Reaping the full potential benefits of CPEC will require forceful pro-growth and export-supporting reforms, the report says. In addition, allowing greater downward exchange rate flexibility will also be necessary. About China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. The 3,000 kilometers long CEPC, which is part of China's Silk Road project, officially called Belt and Road, is aimed at connecting the two countries with rail, road, pipelines and optical cable fiber network. It connects China's Xinjiang province with Pakistan Wadar port, providing access to China, to the Arabian Sea. The project, when it is completed, would enable China to pump its oil supplies from the Middle East through pipelines to Xinjiang, cutting considerable distance for Chinese ships to travel to China. India has already protested to China over the project as it passes through Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. What the CPEC project means for Pakistan. The project is described as a game-changer for Pakistan's economic future, which otherwise has only meager prospects to develop its economy. Pakistan's economy can get a rejuvenation due to Chinese investment. If Pakistan is able to overcome its security problems, the CPEC can be a game-changer. At the same time, the benefit it can get from being a transit country for Chinese goods depends upon its ability to change itself by achieve industrial progress. Pakistan can get an opportunity to develop its infrastructure, especially energy. Bulk of the CPEC is aimed to develop Pakistan's energy sector, including the construction of the largest solar energy plant in the world. China will help Pakistan to develop its resource-based industries so that they can be exported to China. Another advantage of the project is that with the potential economic decline of the Gulf states, Pakistan as a natural resource exporter can sell its commodities to the lucrative Chinese markets through the CPEC transit route.